Hello, everybody. It is Aziza Carter. I am coming with a dream that I had this morning that is considered prophetic. It's a really weird, interesting dream, and I don't uh, count it above anybody else's dreams. God is giving a lot of people visions and dreams because of the time we're in. He said in His Word that He would pour out His Spirit and that people would dream, people would have dreams, people would see visions, people will prophesy. The dream that I had was like somewhat futuristic, but considering the advances in technology, I wouldn't say it's that far away. I don't think it's something that's going to happen tomorrow. Um, but I think it won't be far, probably from now. It could be another 5 years. I'm not certain. But the dream I had, in the dream, I was present in the dream. And as you'll hear me tell more about what was happening in the dream, I don't feel like I am going to be present for some of these things. I may not be, I don't know. And some of the things that I describe, I'm certainly not going to entertain. So I believe that God allowed me to feel and endure what some people may be going through around whatever time this happens. But in the dream, I was working for some type of big corporation. And a boss that I've worked with in real life in the past was there. She was managing a group of us. And there was a separation. There were the people who were good workers, and there were these people that were set aside as like misfits. They were ousted. Pretty much I don't know whether they did something bad or whatever, something along those lines, but there was a big separation. And in the dream, everybody decided to go out to take a break. We went out, we stayed out for a long time. Then we came back to the building, and I guess we were out for longer than we think that we should have been, but we were told it was okay. And somebody led us into the room that we were going to be working in. So we all went into the room and continued working. And still, the people who were ousted, considered misfits, they still sat on the outside of the room that we were in. And it appeared that we were preparing for some type of presentation. And when we finished the presentation and the work that had to go with it, we all went into this big room, like a meeting or a conference room, but it was bigger than a conference room. It almost looked like it could have been like an auditorium, not in a school, but a building. And there were people in the audience who were sitting down, and the workers, including myself, were sitting on this platform. So we were up a little bit higher, and the people who were watching were lower. We were facing each other. And somehow, I guess, we were looking at the screen in front of us. And I believe that they might have turned around or whatever when the presentation came on. In my mind at that moment, I felt like, we were doing good with the presentation, and there was just this feeling like we were doing the presentation to impress or grab another corporation. Like they do presentations for other corporations that companies want to contract with or want to sign with or build an account for. So it was that type of thing. And then all of a sudden, like minutes after the presentation, the people who were sitting on my left-hand side, which were considered the misfits, they began to fall out of their seats one by one, and they hit the floor. And I remember me and the person who was sitting next to me asking, like, what in the world just happened? And as we were kind of guessing and wondering, then kind of we too went through something. Like, it was so intense that I could actually feel the pain. It was like different parts in my head um, had this shooting pain, and it felt like I was being electrocuted. And I fell to the floor. And the girl next to me, same thing happened to her, and she fell to the floor. And I remember as I was lying on the floor and going through the pain, I remember asking myself in the dream, is this what it feels like to die? So apparently I was near death. I don't remember some of the other people getting up, but I remember me and the person who were sitting next to me, we managed to get up and walk out. And as we left the building, and I guess I was walking home, as I was walking home, well, before I even go into the part about walking home, I want to describe what I was seeing. It was like, I don't know completely how to describe it, but it was like seeing through broken lenses. It was like, think about a mirror or something, or even glass that's colored, different colors. There were parts that were broken or cracked. Okay, imagine a robot, okay? And imagine they have like a screen for their eyes. And imagine them falling and crashing, and the visor or whatever that's used for their eyes being cracked in different places. But each area, different colors. That's kind of a weird explanation, but that's what it looked like. As we left the building and I was walking, I was seeing all these people with a newspaper. And in the newspaper that they had, there was a list of people who died, and my name was included on that paper. And I remember thinking, like, wow. And so I didn't necessarily brush it off, but I was hoping somehow that I would get past that. When I got to my destination, I guess, which was supposed to be my home, my sister was there, and she was asking for my help with a hairstyle. And I told her, I said, I can help you. I said, of course you can find tutorials, online for this, but yeah, I'll help you. And I was telling her about what was happening with my vision. And I want to also say that there was knowledge of and an acknowledgement that there were chips in all of our brains. The people who just fell out and died, and even the people who were considered misfits, all had chips in their brains that did certain things that allowed us to function in different ways. And when I go back to the misfits, they also had chips in their brains as well that did the same thing. Okay? So we all had chips, in our brains. And that's why when we were at that conference thing, whatever it was, whoever shut us down and caused us to feel electrocuted, they had the ability, I guess, to shut those things down or to cause them to burn out or whatever. Okay? Point blank period. It's like all the people who had chips in their brain could be controlled. Okay? But I was speaking to my sister about all of this, and she said to me, she explained something to me. I can't even repeat it now. But it was so, there were a lot of technological terms. But she was explaining to me that based on what happened, that I would never gain my eyesight back. Okay? That the issue would never fix itself. Because I was hoping that maybe it would get better. Maybe then I'd be able to see. None of that happened. And as I woke up from the dream, I tried to wake up a total of 4 times, okay? The first 3 times, I thought that I was waking up because I was like, I need to write this, what happened in the dream down. I need to write it down. And like I said, I thought I was awake. But then it was like in an instant, I realized I wasn't awake. So I tried to wake myself up again. And the same thing happened. But what was odd about that is I saw everything while I was trying to wake up. I saw everything as it was in reality. The lighting was the same. The way my bedroom was the same. The position I was in was the same. The things around me were the same. So it felt like something was trying to keep me from waking up to actually, write the dream down. For those who have experienced sleep paralysis, which is something scientists can't explain away, a lot of people have the experience but don't know what it is. But it's a oppressive spirit that keeps you in bondage, that kind of weighs heavily on you. And when this happens, people say like you're in a state of twilight or you're in and out of consciousness. The truth of the matter is it's a demonic attack, and it's suppressing you to allow fear to come, to pretty much sit on you, to paralyze you. And in sleep paralysis, it's like when it's happening, you feel something heavy on you. You try to scream, but you can't. You try to move, and you can't. Even if somebody's next to you, you can't even yell or break out of it to say, somebody help me. It's like that demon, whatever spirit it is, kind of locks you up, even to the point where you can't scream or talk. It's like holding something over somebody's mouth and not allowing them to speak. Okay, it was something sort of like that, but without the paralysis itself, without that heavy weight, and the feeling of that presence wasn't there. I just felt like I couldn't wake up. And in each time as I tried to wake up, the thing that was different, even though everything in the room was the same, what was different was my son kept coming to wake me up. And I really thought that my son had been in the room. When I finally woke up the 4th time, I heard my mother call my name. It was clear, crystal clear, but she was still asleep. So, I mean, that really led me to believe that something was going to actually try to keep me from waking up. Okay. To write everything down. I just want to say, I don't know. I don't pretend to know exactly what's going to happen. I know that there are a lot of things that are being done behind the scenes that are undercover that will be exposed soon and very soon. I don't pretend to know everything about what's going to happen. God is opening our eyes. We are in a period called the Great Awakening. So we just, we need to remain open. If you have dreams, even if you think they're nothing, but if they weigh heavy on you and they feel significant, write them down. If you don't understand it, that's okay. Because you can pray to God and He'll break some things down for you. He'll confirm some things. And the confirmation, it may not come right away. It may take a couple of days. It may take a couple of weeks. But in time, you'll be able to piece it together. When He gives you a dream or a vision, He doesn't give it to you for it to die. He gives it to you so that you can share, so that you can pour out, to make you aware of certain things that are going to happen. And, to be honest, like I said, I don't plan on being here when the worst of the worst comes. I don't. Some people are, argumenting post-trib, pre-trib. To me, I just need to be ready, point blank, period, for whatever happens. Okay, I won't let that type of prophecy stop me from being who I need to be in Christ. Some people kind of get laxed at the idea of pre-trib, where, okay, I'm going to be okay, so I don't need to worry about that. We all need to be in the mindset to be ready for whatever, when whatever comes, knowing that Christ is with us. But I wanted to share that. If you guys have any comments, if God reveals something to any of you about the dream, please feel free to share. Until we speak again, God bless you.